Hey, hey, wives. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. How are you? Let me lock this on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all see Coach T is in it. She's on the sofa. She's on the sofa. Y'all know when I'm on the sofa, I'm a little bit more calmer. Just a little bit. Georgia is bipolar, okay? We had like really great, amazing weather, over the Easter weekend, a couple of days ago, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's like winter showed up all over again. I'm still trying to figure that out. So I dressed for the occasion because last year I was turning my AC on, off, the heater on, off, and I messed around and what they said, I froze something or whatever, and to get that fixed was expensive. So my son, he was home for spring break this week, and something in his mind had told him, because he was hot, instead of him using that fan, something told him just to turn the AC on, turn the heater part off, and turn the AC on. See, I know that this sometimes can happen, and so that's why I keep, it on a certain temperature in the house, because I know sometimes Georgia, they act like this, they act like this. But see, he was home for spring break, and something told him to go and turn on the AC unit and turn off the heater unit, and see, because they ain't paying for that, right? So I had to make it very, very clear. Excuse me. Hello. I had to make it very, very clear, sir. Please do not put your fingers on that on that unit downstairs. Upstairs, okay, we up there most of the time, but downstairs we're gonna have to just ride this thing out, okay? Whichever way it goes, okay? Whichever way it goes. Listen, welcome, y'all. Happy Self-Care Thursday. Throw it back Thursday. We gonna take it back. All right. Y'all know I was on Tuesday, okay? And it was a lot going on Tuesday. All right. I had called all kind of flashbacks, and I had all kind of, like I had went back, like, right? And so I noticed that a lot of people who was doing lives on Instagram, their video was kind of like, buffering a little bit or whatever. I hate when that happened. Y'all, please forgive me. This is why I try to, tell you, if you are followers of me on YouTube but not on Instagram, I want to encourage you to follow me on Instagram, because at least on Instagram, when I go live, you can get the live, message and stuff instead of it buffering and acting all kind of crazy and stuff. It was not my internet. I did pay my bill. Come on, Jesus. It was not my internet. I noticed that other people was dealing with the, with the same thing. So if you don't follow me already on Instagram, I want to encourage you to follow me at hiswife_buoyancy_coach. All right. But listen, so I was on Tuesday. All right. I was on Tuesday, and a lot has happened. A lot has happened since I posted on Tuesday. All right. The video on where I say I'm drawing a line. All right. This is it. All right. In reference to the oppression and emotional abuse that some ladies have been experiencing in their marriages, and just some ladies just experiencing just probably in relationships in other areas and places. But I was talking specific to the wives, right? I was talking specific to the wives because I had recently had a session that had kind of like sent me backwards. But today I'm better. I thought I'll come back on today in a more calmer voice, hopefully, and give more insight and revelation in this area, because I've had 2 other sessions since then that was talking about the same thing. Not only was I had 2 other sessions that was talking about the same thing, I also had a few ladies that reached out to me through, Messenger, and kind of sent me a message. I had an incident happen recently in my own family where I was like, somebody done woke up the devil. We done woke him up. He done got mad. And so I had got a lot of, people reaching out to me about this. And, I said some things had started showing up or whatever. And then I had 2 other sessions this week that talked about the same exact thing. So I just thought, okay, let me come back. Let me come back on the sofa, a little bit more calm, a little bit more, a little bit more at ease. I feel a lot better when I'm not on my job, at the job. I feel a lot better when I'm home. So let me come back and come in this way. Welcome, wives. Okay, welcome. My name is Coach T. For the ones who may not know me, I am a mental health wife coach. I'm a mental health wife coach. I help wives who are going through a marital separation or going through a challenging season in a marriage to maintain or navigate through their journey in the most healthiest way. One of the things I want wives to do is to prioritize their mental and emotional health. I help them to transform into this healthier version, this healthier version that God is calling her to be. A lot of these wives who I coach have biblical reasons. They have biblical reasons to exit out of their marriages. They have biblical reasons to walk away from their husbands, but yet they feel a tug. They feel a tug from the Lord that has said, look, I need you to stay. I need you to stay right there, right? I need you to stay right there until I tell you anything different. Maybe God has made promises to this wife concerning her marriage. So God has told her that, I'm going to restore your marriage, or I'm going to bring your husband back home, or I'm going to bring healing in that marriage. I need you to trust me. Be still. Don't look boys. I'm going to save your husband. Your husband is going to be made brand new. I'm going to change his heart. Maybe wives have gotten some of these messages. And so these are the wives that I help, right? These are the wives that I help. And not only do I help them in that area to help them to hear what God has said to them, I also help them to be a healthier, better version of themselves, right? Which is what I represent on my page, His Wife, all right? His Wife, which is the bride of Christ, all right? So welcome. Now, before we get into what I want to share with y'all, I'm going to probably say it in the beginning and at the end, but did y'all go get y'all retreat her tickets yet? Because listen, we are in April, all right? Today is April 4th, all right? The retreat her is April 26th to the 27th. What you waiting for, all right? No excuses. Go get your retreat tickets today. You can sign up at eventbrite.com, or you can go to my website, www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Now, listen. I did all that. I did my welcome. I want you to know this, wives. I want you to know this, women. I want you to know this, ladies. You have to remember that you are the prize. All right? You have to remember that you are the prize. And I'm going to just say a quick prayer. Jesus, be a fence. I pray that you bring forth revelation, confirmation, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to the wife, to the woman who needs to hear this message on today. Lord, I pray for your word to reach her right now in the name of Jesus. May there be no backlash. Cover me, Lord God, with your son Jesus' precious blood, and bring forth your word as I spread your word to your people. In Jesus' name, amen. You have to remember, wife, you have to remember, woman, that you are the prize. You are the flower. You are the good thing. You are the one that God has chosen, okay? You are the flower. You are the prize. You are that good thing. You are the one that God has chosen, all right? You have to start speaking over yourselves and start telling yourself that, all right? I coach so many wives who are defeated just based off of the words that they use among themselves, just based off of how they see themselves, just based off of, what the enemy has lied to them and told them. They are seeing themselves from a defeated place. And you have to know that you are the prize. You have to know that you are the flower. You have to know that you have been the one that's chosen for this, okay? I don't care what your husband has said. All right, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna try. I don't care what your husband has said to you. I don't care what he has made you to believe. I don't care about that. Today, I come to serve notice and to let the enemy know, that enemy that worketh in your husband, that he is defeated on today. Okay? He has no power. He has no authority. And God has given you, wife, you, woman, authority to walk over serpents, to walk over the foolery that your husband may have be presented to you currently, or you may be dealing with it. Okay? I do not care. I do not care what he said. If his stuff, the things that he has been saying to you, does not align with what God has said about you, then get rid of it today. Get rid of it today. All right? 1 Corinthians, I'm jumping right into the word. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 8 to 10 says, for man did not come from woman, but woman from man. Neither was man created for woman, but woman for man. It is for this reason that a woman ought to have authority over her own head. Because of the angels. Wife, you have authority. You have authority. God chose you to be here on earth to bring forth men. God chose you to be here to be a representative of him. God chose you for man, not man for you. All right? So you got to know your place. You got to know your position. You got to know where you standing on this journey. And this is why I get so mad, because I think what happens is a lot of times women just simply don't know the power and authority that they have. They don't know what God's word says about them. You are the prize. You are the flower. You are that good thing. You have been chosen. Okay? Not the other way around. And I'm not here to bash men. I'm not here to say that men are not leaders or not this or not that, because I'm not here for that. I'm speaking specifically to that wife who God has told to stay in that marriage, that challenging marriage, with a fool of a husband that she's married to. Okay? And he himself, because he is in his foolish place, because he is dealing with his own insecurities, because he is in a bad place, he has now put his toxicness, or has tried to put his toxicness on her. And now she don't know who she is anymore, because she has believed the lies that the enemy has placed in her husband. Now her husband is putting those words out on her, and she has accepted that. Go back and read 1 Corinthians 11, 8 to 10 on your downtime. You, woman, were made for man, not man for woman. You are the prize. You are the good thing. You are the flower. God chose you. God said, let me put this ninja to sleep. Okay, go back in Genesis. All right, this is Coach T version. Let me put this ninja to sleep. Okay, let me go get you right. Okay, because I chose you for this. I'm gonna put him asleep, and I'm gonna fill you up with my love, my image, who I am. I'm gonna fill you up with these different emotions. I'm gonna fill you up as a nurturer. I'm gonna fill you up as a helper, as a supporter. I'm gonna fill you up. And when I wake him up, you're going to be his helper, because he needs you to help him. Okay? Hello, ladies. He needs you to help him. I want y'all to get that. You are the prize. You are the good thing. You are the chosen one. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8 to 10. You were created for man, not man for women. And so when I hear women and when I hear wives come to me and talk to me about their husbands talking to them sideways out of their neck, I have a problem with that. Y'all want to get Coach T bit mad? Let me hear about that. I have a problem with that. Because for so many years, I struggled with that in the beginning part of my marriage. Because I was just thinking that, I'm supposed to just be submissive and just go along with it. Just go to... Who you talking to? Boy, if I didn't know Jesus, okay? Okay? You got to remember and know who you are, wife. You got to remember and know who you are. All right? So I wanted to put that part out there first, all right? The content that I'm going to give ready and share with you, this content I normally charge for. This is a free session on the house. But because I've been so rattled this week with this subject, with this topic, with the whole topic of emotional abuse and oppression and women being defeated in this area, I'm like, I gotta come share this with the people. And even some women who saying, a lot of people don't talk about this kind of stuff. They don't talk about this kind of stuff. Because a lot of people try to sit in the background like, oh, everything is okay, everything is fine, this and that and the other. And your husband talking to you dishonorable. Your husband back there talking to you all sideways. Your husband is downing you. Your husband is jealous of you. Your husband has envy in his heart towards you. Your husband is angry with you. The enemy has jumped inside of him and is coming against you because of what God is doing in you. Y'all better wake up. Okay? Wake up. All right? In the words of my mama, wake up and smell the Folger because it is brewing. Wake up. You are the prize. You are the flower. All right? And so I wanted you to see the title, which it says, read their fruit. All right. A lot of times we hear that word, we hear, read the room. They tell you, like, when you go into a certain place, they tell you to read the room. Read their fruit. Read their fruit. This is what I want to talk about from today. All right. Now, I want to just go backwards a little bit and just say this. It has not been a coincidence that all week, after the Easter holiday, that the daily devotional Bible app, if you have the daily devotional Bible app, you can go back and look from the beginning of the week. All week, they have been talking about spiritual warfare. They've been referencing Ephesians 6 all week long. If you have the Bible app on your phone, you will see that they've been talking about spiritual warfare. Ephesians 6, right? Spiritual warfare is raging in this hour. All right. Spiritual warfare is raging in this hour. I want you to stop for a moment and ask yourself, what have you been battling with since Resurrection Sunday? Y'all know I'm a fanatic when it comes down to Resurrection Sunday, because I know God get ready to do something. Something is going to happen. Something is bound to happen in a weekend like that. Too many are coming to hear about the good news. So something is bound to happen. Think back to yourself. What has happened since Resurrection Weekend in your life? The enemy is bit mad. I've already told y'all this. Because April is the month when God turned things around. Come on, Jesus. April is the month of spiritual awakening and authority to activate. April is the month when God is saying, I'm turning this thing on around. Number 4, let's turn this thing. April is the month of spiritual awakening and authority to activate. It is the month that you will see God move in areas in your life that you've probably been praying for a very, very long time. But you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay alert. The enemy is mad. He's raging. He's coming out. And he's using this one thing that we want to talk about today. It's time that wives get on board because it's a shift taking place. And right now, I am so worried that a lot of people are going to miss it. A lot of people are going to miss it. And they're going to miss it because they are too focused on and too worried about and too concerned about and too busy in their husband's life, their husband's food, their husband's stuff, and what their husband's got going on. And they're not focused on what God is trying to do in their life currently. All right. Matthew chapter 7, verse 16a says, you will know them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits. There's a provoking spirit that's lingering around God's people in this hour. It's a provoking spirit that's lingering around God's people. And the reason it's lurking and lingering is because you are literally at the door of your breakthrough. I want to encourage you, wives, hang in there. Hang in there. When you start noticing spiritual warfare taking place, when you start noticing certain things start to come like crumbling down, when things are starting to go left, when everything that you know that you've been working and building and going towards and it start all of a sudden like crumbling down, I want you to know you are in the right place. You are in the right place. And your only job in that time, your only job in that moment is to hang in the stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Stand still and watch God work. Stand still and see what God does next on your behalf. I'm going to tell y'all. Y'all know I'm going to share some transparency with y'all. Y'all know I'm going to share some transparency with y'all, okay? Because the enemy knows he cannot touch you or bother you without God's permission, it's the next step that he does outside of the battle of your mind. So we know that he tries to come for your mind because he can't do anything else. So his play field, his play area for you is in your mind, right? His play field, his play area for you is in your mind. But the thing right next to that is to provoke you. It's to send you backwards. It's to cause you to be angry. It's to push you. It's to attack you. By coming up against your insecurities, by coming up against your self-worth, by coming up against your self-value, by coming up against your character. This is what his goal is. And God is calling you to put a stop to this on today. He know that he can't get you no other way. But baby, he know if I put that provoking spirit out there, oh, I can get her. Oh, I can get her. If I can cause her to look this way, if I can cause her to pay attention to this, if I can cause this person to get to her like this, oh, I can get to her. Oh, I can get to her. Hello. I can make some things shake in the principality area. I can make some things shake in her world. I can make some things shake in spiritual places. I can make some things shake. Okay? Y'all gotta wake up. You gotta stay woke in this hour. Because you too close. You too close to where God wants you to be for you to fall backwards. God is saying today, I need you to wake up. I need you to read their fruit. Not read the room. I need you to read their fruit. You got to be able to recognize and see when this thing is coming, how it's coming, the tactics and the schemes that it's using to come for you. You got to know when this thing is lurking. You got to know when this thing is lingering. You got to know when something ain't right. You got to pay attention to your emotions. You got to pay attention to your environment. You got to pay attention to the people around you. You have to be self-aware of yourself. You got to get your emotions intact. Read their fruit. Pay attention to what's going on. Because it's a provoking spirit out there that's coming to get you. And it's coming to get you because it is trying to get God's people off course. We are in our month of transitioning. We are in our month of turning. We are in our month of change. This is the month where spiritual awakening and spiritual authority is being activated. And if you mess around and get caught off guard, you're going to miss your shift. You're going to miss it. If you allow this provoking spirit to come in, because you're not reading their fruit, you're going to miss your shift. You're going to miss it. 3 things. 3 things every woman needs. She needs security, she needs stability, and she needs safety. But a wife who God has asked to stay in a challenging marriage, where she has biblical reason to leave, she needs security. She needs stability. She needs safety. But she also needs supernatural strength, help from heaven when she's dealing with a fool. And wife, I am 99.99.99.99% certain you are dealing with a fool. If God has asked you to stay in a marriage that you have biblical reasons to walk away from. If God has asked you to not divorce this type of spouse that has, you have every reason to divorce, I'm pretty sure you're dealing with some type of foolery. You're dealing with some level of foolery. And when you're dealing with that type of foolery, you cannot walk in that and handle that in your own strength. You need supernatural strength from above. You need supernatural strength from God. You need him and all his angels to rally up on your behalf and to help you. Because if you mess around and try to do this on your own, you gonna miss it. You gonna miss it. Abuse is not part of the arrangement, wife. Let me say that again. Abuse is not part of the arrangement. Not mental abuse, not emotional abuse, and definitely not physical abuse. That was not part of the arrangement. So I need you for a moment to pause and go back when God told you to stand or stay in this marriage. I need you to recall what he said to you. Because I'm pretty certain he ain't say nothing about you standing there and being there and taking abuse. I'm certain of that. I'm certain of that. Not when he's telling you to be a good steward over your body. Not when he's telling you to be a good steward over your mind. Not when he's telling you to be a good student over yourself. He is not calling you to abuse. Abuse was not part of the arrangement. It was not. To be in a physical abusive marriage or relationship, it can get you killed. It can get you killed. So use wisdom and get out. I don't coach the wives who are going through physical abuse. There's nothing for me to tell you. Girl, leave. What is it that I'm going to tell you? When you're dealing with somebody putting their hands on you, what is it for me to tell you? Girl, bye. Girl, go. It can get you killed. But to be in an abusive, mental or emotional abusive relationship, it can get that other person killed. It can get that other person killed. Somebody talking out their neck sideways to you, you've been a snap, it can get that other person killed. And this is why you need help. This is why you need supernatural help. Standing or staying in an unhealthy marriage or relationship can literally put you in chains if you are not doing this correctly. And when I say correctly, with the spiritual guidance from someone that God has placed in your life or placed in your path to help you and to hold you accountable. This thing can put you in chains. Not just chains like, okay, I'm going behind bars. Yeah, you can be behind bars too. But it can put you in other type of chains. This is why so many women are dealing with feeling like they're stuck. They don't have no freedom in what God. You're supposed to have freedom in your stance. You're supposed to have freedom on your journey. And if you don't have that, you are doing something wrong. You are doing something wrong, wife. If you don't have no freedom, if you don't have no peace, if you still struggling, you still wrestling with this, you're doing something wrong. Wife, God does tell certain ones to stand or stay in an unhealthy marriage, but not for them to lay there and be a doormat. Not for them to lay there and just just do whatever you want to me. The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. He's not telling you to be there for somebody to walk over you. He's giving you power and authority to walk over it. He didn't call you to be there just to be sitting there and like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to do whatever thing my husband wants me to do. No. I'm gonna calm down. This is why I always say, go back and watch some of my old videos. Go back and watch some of my old videos. One of the things that I always highlighted in my videos is God wants you to be a good steward over yourself, right? He wants you to take care of yourself. Why, if your only responsibility in this type of marriage is to be a representative of Christ. But God didn't call you there to be no food. God didn't call you to be there to just be trampled all over. It's not about you agreeing with your husband's behavior and coming in. And this is why I always emphasize that so many wives, they try to get all connected with their husbands and oh, my husband came over and oh, we slept together today. Oh, all that part that you got to know that's what God is telling you to do. Because those things can put you in chains. You land up with your husband and that enemy is working in your husband and you basically sleeping with the enemy. Abuse was not part of the arrangement. Okay? Abuse was not part of the arrangement. This is why you need accountability and you need support on this journey. Because you can say all day long. You can say all day long with your mouth what you won't do. You can say all day long, oh, I ain't gonna do that, girl. I ain't gonna do that. Oh, I ain't gonna do that, girl. I did it. You can say all day long what you won't do. Oh, I ain't gonna ever let nobody get me to that place. I ain't gonna never let nobody like take me there. I ain't gonna never let you have that kind of control and power over me. I'm not gonna never let you get me that worked up and that upset. Really? Really? You can say out your mouth all day long what you would not do. But when you are placed in that position, you don't know what you will do. when you are placed in that position, you don't know how you respond. I used to tell y'all all the time, Lord, I used to tell God when my husband and me was staying in his place, and he was not no more than 30 minutes away from me. I would pray every time I was going out, every time I was going out the door, if I was going to the mall, I said, Lord, please, Jesus, don't let me see him. Please don't let me run into this man. Please don't let me, because I don't know how I will respond. I'm a realist. It's too many wives are faking on this journey. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm strong and I'm okay. I don't care how much time I've been spending with you, Lord. I don't care how much time I've been reading my Bible. I don't care how much time I've been fasting. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know that. Okay, I know what I'm doing here, because I don't. So that was my prayer. God, please, this day I pray, don't let me see him. I would go out to eat sometimes, a lot of times with my girlfriends. Me and my kids, went out earlier that day. I took them to go do haircuts. We went to breakfast and hang out in the mall, and then we would come home and nap. And then in the evening time, Mama was going out. So I would go out and I have plans with some friends, and I'll be like, Jesus, please don't let me run into this man. Please let me run into this man, because I don't know, especially if I'm with somebody. That wouldn't be good for me. That wouldn't be good for me. Why? You don't know how you respond with something like that. You don't know how you respond to you in that situation. Push to anger too much can send a woman completely out of her normal character, and she can black out. Guilty. Huh? I'm not playing. If you push a person too much, or you provoke a person too much, you don't push this person to a place, and they can literally snap, and they don't even be to know what had happened. And so this is why you better be able to discern and read that spirit behind that person that you're dealing with. You better be able to read their fruit. Read their fruit. You would know them. Matthew 7:16a says you would know them by their fruits. You would know them by their fruits. Now, Luke chapter 9, verse 55 to 56 says this. But he turned and rebuked them, and he said, you do not know what matter of spirit you are of. You do not know the matter of spirit that you are of. So many of these wives, and I can talk like this because listen, Coach T, been there, done it, experienced it, got the trophy. Okay, so I can talk like this. Okay, so many of these wives are being fooled by the man that they said I do to. They're being fooled because they're mistaking his kindness and his niceness and his nice gestures. Oh, he's calling today. Oh, he's being this way today. Oh, God is moving. Oh, God is answering my prayers. Oh, God is doing this because he did this. Oh, God is doing this because he did this. It's a setup. It's a trap. What does that fruit say? What is that spirit behind that? What's really taking place with that man behind all that? Why is he being so kind today? Why all of a sudden he's calling? Why today he want to come out and get the kids? Why today he want to stop by? Why all of a sudden he's sending you money out the clear blue? And I'm not saying all the time. And I'm not saying it's always that way. All right? But what I'm saying is wives have to learn how to discern. And this is why I'm a believer of you need to learn what your spiritual gift is. You need to be operating that fully. You need to know what your gift is. And you need to ask God to give you a double dose of discernment when you're dealing with a fool as a husband. You need a double dose of a discernment because you don't know what. I am not going to cry today. I'm not going to cry today. I am not going to cry today. Ooh! I couldn't understand this thing. I'm telling you, I could not understand for so many years. I could not understand what I was going through. It makes me so mad to my core when I finally figured out what the idiot was doing and how he was using my husband and how he was using my husband's family and how he was using different things to come against me. And I kept on saying, God, what did I do? What did I do to deserve this? What did I do to these people? I didn't do anything to these people. All I have been was kind. All I've been is nice. Why this trap for me? Why this setup for me? Oh, Jesus! They was coming for me, and I couldn't understand why. Like what did I do to you? But I was only being kind to you. I was only being nice to you. And I remember, oh, God would tell you. God would tell you. He would tell you. I remember when I got to a place where I was like, something ain't right here, God. And I never forget the Lord when he laid everything out. It's like he laid it out like a platter on the table. And he laid it all out. He said, you don't even know. That person was the bait the whole time. That person was planting stuff in your house the whole time. That person was doing this the whole time. You ain't even know. This was the plan the whole time. This was their goal the whole time. This was their agenda the whole time. And I kept on saying, but why? What did I do to them? What did I do to them? God said, you simply was a representative of me. And because you was a representative of me, that spirit that you was operating in, that spirit that you was walking in, that spirit that you was possessing, they couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand it. They couldn't understand how this woman, how she responds this way. I'm a woman. I don't respond that way. How she's so cool, calm, and collected. How she's okay with this. Oh, the hospital? The hospital thing? Man. I was sitting there, God had all his angels around. I was the light, and they couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand it. And so what they did, they used different things against me while I was in that hospital. They used different things to come up against me and share things. I mean, the person, one of the people in there, they gave my husband one of the nurse's phone numbers. My husband and the nurse started talking to each other sometime later. Baby, I'm telling you, you better learn how to read their fruit. You better know you better learn what you dealing with. You better know who you coming up against. You better know that spirit that they all nice and okay. You better be careful with some of these people that you are interacting with. You better be careful with some of these people that you're sharing your business with. I remember my husband used to tell me a long time, he said, stop calling her. Stop telling her this information. Stop giving us stop doing that. Don't do that. And I was like, why? I'm trying to tell her about this because me and her, she and this and that. Stop telling her. He would always tell me, stop telling them all my business. Stop sharing this. Stop doing this. That man knew something that I didn't know, but God exposed it. God exposed it. You better know that spirit that works behind that person. Too many people, too many wives I talk to, I got this one lady, and I don't know if she's going to hear this or not. I got this one that she just got all these friends and all these people that she telling this friend this and she telling this friend. You got to be careful who you sharing your information with. You got to be careful who you sharing stuff with about your marriage. People are sitting back plotting against your downfall. People are looking back at you and waiting for you to, I told you. I knew she was crazy. I knew that girl was crazy. That girl was crazy. I told y'all that girl wasn't crazy. Ain't no doggone way. Y'all better be careful who you sharing your information with. And this is why I always tell wives, get some accountability. I'd rather pay somebody to hold my secrets. Come on, Jesus. I'd rather pay somebody to keep my secrets. The stuff that I share with people, some of the people to this day, I don't want no dealings with them. Because I'm so amazed of how you sat there with me, kikied in my face, pretend with me, was my I had these are spiritual people that I had guiding me. These are like mentors and spiritual family members that were guiding me. And to find out somebody on the outside who was not even close to me had to come and tell me, you might not want to share all your business with that person because this person, she was sitting over here and we was over here. I was having a party at my house. She was sitting over here and she was just telling all your business and she was just laughing and saying this and saying that. I was like, no, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. People are evil. People are wicked. People are looking for you. They're not looking for you to make it on this journey. They're not looking for you to be successful. Don't help them. Don't help them. Pay for your secrets to be kept secret. Pay for that. Pay for your secrets to be held secrets, to be held sacred. Hello? Pay for that. Don't be out here just telling your business to this person, that person, because you don't know what their evil motive is. You don't know what their heart posture is. You don't know how the enemy has jumped into them and now is using them against you. And you don't share all your vulnerability with them. You don't share all your information with them. You done gave them the whole thing. And I remember the Lord was telling he said, I'm going to move this person out your life. I'm going to show you. I'm going to move this person out your life. And I never could not understand it. He moved the person out my life. I brought her back in. And God was like, I had already told you. I had already told you. I don't put nothing past none of them. It's not about trust. It's about being able to read their fruit. It's not about, oh, you got trust issues. You got this issue. No, it's about the spirit that they carry. I can pick up quick when somebody's spirit is off. They call it, the world call it energy. I know that spirit. I know something ain't right. It's discernment. And it's spiritual discernment. And wives who are dealing with a foolish husband, and you were in a season when you're dealing with a hardship in your marriage, you better ask for God. You better ask God to give you a double dose of discernment so you can be able to read that spirit. You can be able to when my husband would come back and start saying things to me sometimes and whatever, he was saying certain things or whatever, I knew it wasn't him. I could tell just from what he was saying, oh, somebody been counseling him. Somebody's been giving him advice. Somebody's been telling him what to do. I could tell by the words that he would start saying and start using. Oh, this is not you. This is somebody else that's speaking to you, and you coming in and give this information back to me. Oh, okay, got it. Noted. You better know what spirit that you're dealing with. You better be able to read that fruit. You better be able to read that spirit. You better be able to discern and see what it is that what's behind that person. I'm real careful about who I let in my circle. I'm real careful about who I let close up on me. And even when they do get close up on me, I'm still distant because I'm watching and I'm looking. I'm watching and I'm looking. And it's not about, oh, well, you can't be like this. You can't be, you a Christian woman. You supposed to be like, baby, I protect mine. I protect mine because I know what I've been through. I protect mine because I done got jabbed too many times. I protect mine because I see how this thing can go. I protect mine because I see how people will backstab you. They'll be in your face, kiki and smiling and being one way and then turn around being somebody else. I've seen that too many times, so I'm careful. And then when that spirit jumps in your husband, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst feeling a woman should have to ever endure. No woman should have to deal with the battle, the strife between her and her husband. The one that she said I do to. The one that she said she would love to death do us part. You should have to be in strife with your husband. You should have to be trying to defend yourself against your husband. You should have to do that. God didn't call you to do that. The arrangement has nothing to do with abuse. If they quack like a fool, they're more likely they're a fool. And you don't give energy to foods. It's delusional. It's delusional. It's a waste of time. You will find yourself more drained. You will find yourself all bent over because you sit and try to go back and forth with the food and try to make them understand. Shut that down. Listen, baby, let me give you some space because right now you taking up my space, you taking up my strength, you taking up my time, my energy. Let me give you some time to yourself. Because I need it. All right? Because I need it. Y'all gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. All right? And when you don't have when you do have to face them, or when you do have to deal with them about anything that God is telling you to say or is directing you to do, then God's grace will follow you. But you gotta be led by God. So many wives are still trying to do stuff in their own. Oh, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to tell him, oh, he did this and he did this. You trying to call. You trying to do. What is you doing all that for? What is you putting all your energy in that for? What is you going through all that for? You got your kids out here. You got to go to work in the morning. You got bills to pay. God done told you got to be working on this assignment that you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be signed back up for school. You're supposed to be starting a business. You're supposed to be starting a ministry. And you go back and forth with a man who already have made up his mind what he's going to do. For what? What are you going back and forth for? Wives are scared to trust God at his word when he said, vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Lord. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Just simply take God at his word. Don't be scared. When you know that you are a woman of authority, when you know that you are a woman of the king, when you know God has called you to this place and you have not came here on your own, you can walk in that. Oh, you tripping today? Oh, okay. All right. Let me give you some space. Let me give you a few days. let me give you a few days. You don't got to go back and forth with the food. You don't have to go back and you don't have to give them your energy. I get worked up behind that, y'all. Wives should not have to defend themselves against evil and wicked husbands. You should not have to defend yourself against evil and wicked husbands. Go and read Psalms 35. Go and read Psalms 37. Go and read Psalms 24, 7-10. Read the book. It'll tell you exactly how God gonna take care of your enemies. Go back and read the stories back in Deuteronomy and Exodus. Go back and read the story of Moses and how the Lord dealt with his enemies. Go and read the book. I think it's a book. I think it's in Exodus 22 or Exodus 22, something like that. And it talks about when you are working for God, when you are working for God, you have no successful enemies. When you on his watch, you have no successful enemies. So it doesn't matter what they try to do or how they try to come up against you. It doesn't matter what they try to throw at you, the attacks they try to throw at you. Witchcraft was the attack that came for me. These people was trying to take me out with witchcraft attacks. I didn't know what was going on. These people were trying to take me out on spiritual altars. I didn't know what was going on. These people were trying to take me out. You better know what you're dealing with. You better be able to read the fruit with that person, how you dealing with. Oh, I don't have no successful enemies. I don't have no successful enemies because I work for God. You better start speaking to yourself and saying that. Oh, I don't have any successful enemies. I'm gonna find that Bible verse and find that for y'all. Let me see if I can find that Bible verse for my kid because I gotta find that. I don't have no successful enemies. I work for God. So as long as I'm on his team, I'm all right. No. Because he take care of me. He comes for me. When I call him, he comes. When I call him, he comes to my rescue. He comes to me because you know why? Because I don't have no successful enemies. But I work for him. I'm not doing this in my own strength. I'm not doing this on my own. So that's why I said you don't have to go. Stop wasting your time going back with a fool. You don't gotta do that. You gotta do that. I gotta find this Bible verse for y'all. I gotta find this. I gotta find this Bible verse here. I'll have no successful enemies when it comes down to me doing what God has asked me to do. Because I work for God. I work for God. It says, do not mistreat or oppress a foreigner, for you were foreigners and don't take advantage of the way. I can't find it. I can't find it. But when I find it, I'm gonna share it with y'all. It's in Exodus. I think it's Exodus 20 or Exodus 21 or 22. And it talks about that. It talks about that. I can't find it. But I'm gonna put it when I find it. I'm gonna put it in here. You don't have any successful enemies. That enemy that's working in your husband cannot be successful because you work for God. And it does not mean that you will not go through nothing. And it does not mean that you won't feel nothing. And it does not mean it won't hurt. And it does not mean it won't be challenging. But you have to know you already have the victory because you work for God. You already have the victory because you work for God. You, wife, do not have to worry about defending yourself against an evil and wicked husband. No, you leave that to Jehovah Gibber, the God of hosts. He fights for you. Women should not have to suffer through oppression from a man along with word curses to belittle her and to knock her self-esteem down. If you're dealing with something like that, you need to get some help. And I mean, you need to get some help immediately. If you're dealing with the word curses from your husband, and your husband constantly hitting at you and knocking at your head and saying things, and I'm saying, I'm pointing at my head, but I'm saying he's using words to belittle you, to attack you, to make you feel less than, he's always, it's blaming you, it's your fault. If your husband is doing those types of things, and you just stand there doing what? Just taking it? The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. You better get your power and your authority. You need to get some help today. What spirit does your husband possess? What fruit does your husband possess? Because I'm pretty sure, if he's talking to you sideways out of his neck, he got some rotten fruit. I'm pretty sure if he's belittling you and he's throwing all kind of word curses out at you and he's making you feel less than and he's calling you names and he's making you feel less about yourself, y'all. I tell y'all all the time, I'm a sucker for my family. I'm a sucker for my family. But I have seen and experienced different ones in my family who have allowed these types of things to happen to them. And then they expect a person like myself to just keep quiet. Don't tell me. Don't call me. Don't tell me. If I get a niche that something is wrong in the spirit, I'm gonna pray that person all the way to the gates of hell. I'm going to pray that person all the way to the gates of hell because it's evil and it's wicked. It is evil and it is wicked. Wife, you are the good thing. You are the prize. You are the flower. Don't let no man belittle you. Oh, I'm just being submissive. Be submissive. Because there's a way to be submissive and still walk in your power and authority. There's a way to still honor him and still walk in your power. And you know how you do that? Sir, hello? I don't know what you got going on. I don't know what this spirit is that's working up in you today. But what I'm going to do for me and you, for me and you, I'm going to give you some space. Okay? I'm going to give you some space. So you stay over there on that side of the house and leave me and mine alone. And don't come over here now. Don't cross this line. Because you cross this line, it's going to be hell to pay in paradise. I'm telling you. It's going to be best for you to stay on over there. And I mean that. There's a way for you to speak up for yourself, wife, where you can still honor him. They be quick to call you out your name and call you all kinds of sideways words and stuff. I send that back to his sender. Now, sometimes I don't say your mama. I will say that sometimes. You ain't gonna call me out my name. I might call somebody in your family out their name. You call me your mama. Listen, now don't take it there. Now, I'm not encouraging you to take it there. I'm saying sometimes they can push you to that point and you be done forgot. And that's why you got to make sure that you stand close to the cross. All right? When you see this thing is getting rough and you see it starting to get a little rough around the patches, you might back on out. Because a fire is on the way. I'm trying to tell you. Back on out that situation. Because if the smoke flames and stuff start to go along, the alarms and stuff start going off, it's going to be some word crossing, passing by. And next thing you know, you're going to be in a whole full-fledged battle with a man. Now you got to go back in the room and pray and ask God to forgive you. You got to go through all this stuff of repenting. Now God got to deal with your whole soul and deal with you. Just back away. Sir, you must be not feeling good today. You're not feeling good? Okay, yeah, bad. Leave me alone, okay? That was my favorite word. If I couldn't get to nothing else to a script, leave me alone now. I done told you to leave me alone. And you better say it like you got some power and authority. If you can't say anything, leave me alone. But I send the fire to deal with you. Leave me alone, okay? You have to learn how to speak to that enemy that's working in that person. And when you go and leave me alone, you shut it down. I send the blood, Satan, I denounce you. The blood is against you. Leave me alone. Oh, you calling me Satan? No, but that spirit in you is Satan. That spirit that's working in you is Satan. And I told you to leave me alone. You better get on back now. Y'all better learn how to talk back to these men. y'all better learn how to talk back to these men. And stand in that. Stand in your authority. Stand in who you are. You are a child of the King. Stand in that. Stand in that. Go back and read on the books. Go back in Ephesians where it says a man's supposed to honor his wife. You coming at me? Do you know who you talking to? Do you know that God has me here praying for you? Do you know that God has placed me here in this position to cover you? Do you know that God has told me not to lead this marriage because I'm standing here in the gap for you? And you gonna come at me all sides? You better be careful. You better be careful how you talk to me. You better be careful how you come up against me. You better be careful the words that you say to me. You better be careful how you treat me. I'm a flower. You better be careful how you treat me. Because my God sits high and looks low. And baby, I mean to tell you, all I got to do is say the word. And he's coming to help me. Wives, walk in that. Walk in that. And this is why it's so important for you to walk as his wife and be a representative of him. It's so, because it's one thing if you flaw. We all flaw. We all got our things, whatever. But if you act like a butt, like he act like a butt, now Coach T, because I had a split mouth too. Sometimes my mouth used to get me in trouble. And that's how I thought, like, God, like, go back. Go back to the end of the line. You got to start all over again. My mouth used to get me in trouble. So I had to learn how to shut it down and walk away. Shut it down and go get in my car. Shut it down and go take me a walk. Shut it down and go turn some music on. Shut it down and go get in my closet. You got to learn what works for you. All right? You got to learn what works for you. Don't let that man be talking to you all sideways and stick out his mouth. Remember, you are a delicate flower, and you have been placed there as a representative of God, praying for your husband's salvation, praying that God holds on to him a little bit longer, praying for God to turn his heart for him to be a better person. But it ain't your responsibility to be monitoring him. It ain't your responsibility to be watching him. Oh, he doing, that's his problem. That's his business. If God didn't bring it to me, I ain't got nothing to do with that. It's only your problem when God brings it to you. When God say, I need you to pray for him in this way, then you pray for him in that way. When God say, this is what's going on with him, I need you to do this, then you do that. But anything outside of that, and this is why so many wives get mixed up, because they're trying to go after a man, they're trying to seek after a man, and God didn't tell you to do those things. You're trying to do something God didn't tell you to do. You all up in his business and wondering what he got going on, and God didn't tell you to do that. God did not tell you to be micromanaging your husband and his whereabouts and what he's doing, what he's got going on. The only time you're supposed to be concerned is when God tells you or give you specific instructions to do something. That's it. And so many women, they bring this type of hardship on themselves because they be trying to dibble and doubt. They try to be the man friend. They want to, we want to go on a date, or we just starting over, or we just being friends. You trying to do too much. I ain't want to do nothing. I want to be your friend, sir. I don't want to be your friend. We're not going to have sex. You're not going to be coming over here. You're not going to be popping up over here. You're not going to play with my emotions like that. Because I'm liable to go left when you mess around and do something that's going to be stepping out and doing something crazy. I'm not going to do that. And this is why so many wives are still in the same place and nothing has moved for them, nothing has changed, because they're still trying to do things in their own strength. You cannot necessarily be that man's friend knowing that he's out there messing with another woman. You can't necessarily be sleeping with that man knowing that he's sleeping with somebody else. You're trying to befriend him. I don't care if he's in the house. Sir, you go over there. Tell him to go across the hall. Tell him to go across the hall. So many wives, because they want to get their little freak on, and I get it. I understand. But when you know that you got something bigger to do, you got other things to do, you have to know how to continue to walk in your power and authority. God didn't call you there to do that. Stay focused, okay? Stay focused. You should not have to defend yourself, wife, against an evil and wicked man. Women should not have to suffer through oppression from a man along with his word curses. Like I said, belittling her. Wife, find out what spirit works in that man. Find out what spirit works in, what fruit that your husband is possessing. If your husband is talking crazy out of his neck towards you, you need to do an assessment. This is where you need to do an assessment. There are many spirits operating around him when he's behaving in this manner. And you don't know, it can be drugs. It could be somebody he done slept with. It could be something that he done ate. It could be an environment that he's been around. It could be certain kind of music. It can be alcohol. It can be witchcraft. It can be generational curses. It can be evil altars. It can be different types of they got these new things called they going to readers now. They going to priests and evil priests and getting all this kind of information. They're using all kinds of sage and doing and listen, y'all better be careful. Y'all better be careful. You better learn how to assess that situation, because you don't know what he's dealing with. You don't know what he's dabbling in. You don't know what he's watching on TV. You don't know what he's interacting with. You don't know what he done got into. You don't know what he's smoking. You don't know these things. I'm pretty sure my husband's not doing drugs. How do you know? How do you know he's not doing drugs? How do you know? He may have come into an environment where that spirit then came around him. I told y'all. I don't know if I should tell this again. I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Me and my husband, we was about to be intimate. And I didn't know, what was going on with him at that time, what he was doing or whatever. And I remember when we was like, in the middle of that or whatever, something came upon me, and I was like what in the world? I felt whatever he was doing, whatever he was dealing with, wherever he was dabbing in, that thing transferred from him to me. I was like, wait, what in the world? I'll never forget that feeling. And afterwards, I'm saying, God, what was that? What was that? I could not figure out what it was. I had never, in all the years I had been married to that man, and all the years I had been intimate with that man, I had never experienced something like that. And the Lord brought to my attention what the thing that he's been doing, it tried to come in and interfere and come into you. I felt that thing. I was like, something about this don't feel right. Something is off with this. It was like I was like high. Like I was in some other another place or something. I was like, what? So when wives tell me that, my husband, he doesn't do this, are you sure? In my Tamar voice, are you sure? You don't know what that man is doing. You don't know what he's dipping and diving with. You don't know who he's allowing to be with him. You don't know who he's with. Man, woman, or whoever. You don't know what he got going on. So many wives think they're so certain and so sure about what their husbands is doing, and you don't know nothing. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what that man's doing. You don't know what's taking place behind the scenes. You don't know what God is protecting you from. What God is trying to shield you from. This is why I don't encourage. I'm gonna put a tracker on his car. For what? God is trying to shield you from something. He's trying to protect you from something. Why you want to know where he at? So you can go over there, act a fool, and get yourself in trouble and go to jail? Now your kids got to be there worried about how their mama gonna get home? A lot of times, wives bring this type of hardship. This is all I'm trying to say. A lot of times, wives bring this type of hardship on themselves. But abuse was never part of the assignment. Abuse was never part of the arrangement. Abuse was never part of the instructions that God gave you when he said he wants you to stand or stay in this. That was never part of the plan, wives. Okay? That was never part of the plan. Wives got to get into a better headspace when it comes down to stuff like this. You got to understand and know that you got to learn how to assess that situation. All right? If you have never taken a spiritual warfare course, or you are unfamiliar with, spiritual things, and, you just really just don't know nothing about this area, I want to encourage you to connect with me, whether either by signing up for, a consultation. I do have some ebooks that from sources, sources that I trust, because I don't trust everybody and everything and all this stuff, because you got to be careful about who you are listening to and who is giving you kind of information. And so I do have some ebooks that I do, for purchase, of course. Okay. I'm willing to give the wives and then share the information or the resources with them so they can be able to have, how that, and start getting educated on this type of stuff. All right. Emotional abuse is not your portion. Emotional abuse is not your portion. Mental abuse is not your portion. And your husband may have connected with something, like I said, or someone that has led him down a dark path, but you better know how to speak to that spirit. Read that fruit. Be able to recognize and read that fruit. All right. You do that by getting your understanding of what your authority and your power is. You do that by doing your own personal work. This is why I'm always telling wives, sign up and do your work. Sign up and do your work. Sign up and do your work. You're thinking, I'm waiting for God to bring my husband back and get him all together, this and that. Sometimes God bring your husband back broken down, tore up, disgusted, and you got to be able to stand up and learn how to deal with him. You need to learn how to deal with it. So you need to sign up and do your work, okay? Unfortunately, I can't give a specific war plan because every person's situation is different. It's different levels, and they're on different levels in different places, and probably different with, dealing with different types of spirits. But I want to encourage you with this. Like I said, you can purchase the ebook from me. You can read up and look at some scriptures on authority, dominion, and, biblical power. And pray for God to give you that double dose of discernment. Pray for God to give that double dose of more discernment. I always tell my wife, I send my wife a bottle of oil. I tell them to anoint their eyes. God, help me to see what I don't see. Get you some oil, anoint your eyes, and God, I tell them put the oil on their tongue, get the little dab and put it on their tongue. Or Lord, help me speak the words that you want me to speak. I tell them to put some oil on their ears. Lord, help me to hear what it is that I need to hear. I need to hear from you. You need to know how to follow through with these steps and do these types of things for yourself, and be able to see. Ask God to show you what he's trying to show you through his lenses, okay? Ask God to help you to see through the spiritual stuff, all right? If you are in a position where you feel like you have to defend yourself from the strong man that works in your husband, you need to get some help. You need to get some help. Do not try to fight that Goliath on your own. You need spiritual training for that. You need spiritual training. Otherwise, somebody going to jail, and it might be you. Somebody going to jail, and it might be you. If you are in a position where you don't feel safe, okay? If you are in a position where you don't feel safe or you feel helpless and defeated by your husband, get away from him. Because she be living in the house. Get away from him. Go to your room. Go take a ride. Go stay at a family member's house. Go on a road trip. Get away from him. Give yourself some time to reset. Give yourself some time to recharge. Give him some time to come to himself. Sometimes he's probably all high, geeked up in whatever he got going on in his own world. Give him some time to deal with what he need to deal with. Get away from him. I don't care if he's in the same house as you. All right? You need scriptures and you need a strategy. Everyone is different. I'm going to close with this. I don't want to hear this no more, y'all. Because God has placed people on your path to help you in this area. I do not want to hear that God has told you to stay or stay in a marriage and you will have to sit there and accept your husband's negative behavior. And you have to sit there and accept your husband's evil and wicked words towards you. If you have to sit there and accept your husband's character and accept everything that he's dishing out to you, that is all lies. That is lies. That was not part of the arrangement. That was not part of the instruction box. I know it. I know it was not. It was not part of it. God simply put you in that man's life to be a representative of him. And because you're going to be a representative of him, that means you're going to get hit with some things. That means a sword is going to come up against you. That means that even when all his little wicked friends are going to come for you. But this is why you have to do your work. And this is why you have to position yourself. And this is why you have to make sure that you are in a healthy place for yourself. God will tell you certain times and ways when you're supposed to pray for your husband and when you're supposed to cover him. But anything that God is not telling you to do, I always tell my wife, you need to be praying more for yourself on this journey than anybody else. You need to be praying more for yourself than anybody else. Go and get my book, His Wife, off of Amazon. My book, I talk about these types of things. In my book, I have specific prayers in there that tells you what kind of prayers that you need to be praying for your husband. But also, I make sure that I highlight the part about you praying for yourself more than anything. Why God didn't call you to emotional abuse. He didn't call you, even if he told you to stay in this marriage. He didn't call you to stay in this marriage for you to go along with your husband's stuff. You're going along with his stuff, and you're staying on your stand longer. You're going along with his stuff, and you're on that journey longer than what you're supposed to be. Because you don't want to make a decision to cut. You don't want to make a decision to come out of that. You don't want to make a decision to change. You want to be, but I want to talk to him. If I don't talk to him, then he's going to talk to somebody else. I want to have sex, because if he don't have sex with me, he's going to have sex with somebody else. Girl. Sign up for your consultation. That's what I can tell you. Sign up for your consultation today, okay? You can do so at www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com, all right? In the meantime, I want to meet you in person. I want to see you in person. You can come to the Retreat Her here in Alpharetta, Georgia. Get your tickets today, all right? I still have some VIP specials for the ladies who want to do the VIP. You can sign up for that. I want to see you at the Retreat Her. This is why I'm having a Retreat Her. That's why I'm not doing it just for wives. It's for wives and it's for women. Because I'm sick of the enemy trying to oppress women. I'm sick of the enemy trying to belittle women. I'm sick of the enemy trying to talk down and make women feel less than, knocking women's self-esteem off. And then that's why you got to get strong. You got to get healed. You got to get better for yourself. Because what he's trying to do, what he's trying to do is come for your self-esteem. He's trying to come for your identity. He's trying to come for your self-worth. He's trying to come for your character. He's trying to come for your identity. He's trying to come for your confidence. He's trying to knock you off of track. Because if you go back and read Genesis 3:15, it talks about the curse that God placed on him about what the woman's going to do to him. And he's been mad at her ever since. And so I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And wives got to get better in this area. Women have to get better in this area. They have to know what their worth are. You are the prize. You are the flower. You are the good thing. You have been chosen. God created you for man, not man for you. God went and put him to sleep, and he went and worked on you because he needs you to be his helper. The wife is the only other person outside of the Holy Spirit is called helper. In order for you to be a good helper, you got to be healthy yourself. You got to be healed yourself. You got to be whole yourself. You don't got time to be sitting there going back and forth with a man and let him be all in your voice, in your ear with his voice with those negative things. Read the fruit. Read that spirit and be careful who you share your information with. All right. So come to the Retreat Her. You can go to eventbrite.com and sign up for that today. Or you can say, Coach T, I can't make it to the retreat her, but I definitely want to get a consultation in. If you are a new client, you have to pay the new client fee, okay? So sign up for your consultation and get that. Or if you are saying, Coach T, I haven't seen you before, but, I need to check in. Check in. Don't go outside 3 months without checking in, especially if you're dealing with stuff like this. Don't go outside 3 months. You are pushing yourself and keeping yourself in a holding cell, wife, when you do that. Go ahead and secure your secrets with someone who's going to keep your secrets. All right? How Alicia said, I won't tell your secrets. Okay, I know that was a little bit way off, but pay for your secrets. pay for your secrets to be kept a secret. Don't share all your information. I share this stuff with y'all because I'm telling y'all, I know. I'm telling you, this person was close to me and told all my business. I mean, she said, and then she didn't even know or recognize the people that she was around was my family. She didn't even recognize the people that she was sharing this with, that they was going to come back and tell me, like, how you sitting in somebody's backyard and talking about them? How you sitting at somebody's party and you talking about them? You got to be careful who you share your information with. People are wicked. We live in a wicked and evil world, and people do not want you to do well in this. They already think you crazy, okay? They already think you crazy for even doing something like that. They already think your mental is off by even doing something like by even considering this. So don't help them, okay? By sharing and giving all your information to them and trying to make them understand something that they don't understand. They're not spiritually able to understand it. So why are you talking to somebody who don't understand what you're going through or what you done been through? Come sign up for a consultation. Come and check in, all right? And if you can't do any of those things, I still do have my 30-day strategy e-course that's available. So if you say, Coach T, I just want to take the e-course and just get some steps, do that. It's a 30-day plan that will help you to know what you need to be doing and how you need to go and hear from God concerning your situation to know if this is what you're supposed to be doing in the first place. www.marriagechronicles.tanika.com. Get your tickets for Retreat Her, and I'll see y'all on the other side. Love you. Blessings. Talk to you soon.